Hi mama, being pregnant during the summer can be quite a challenge. So let's go into this video to see what can we do to survive the pregnancy during summer if you live in a country where this season is quite intense. Let's go! Hi Mama, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time that you watch my videos, my name is Ilenia and I am a midwife with a passion for education and empowerment during your pregnancy, birth and postpartum journey. In my channel I talk about motherhood and everything that turns around this topic. So if it's something that you might be interested in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. The number one uncomfortable symptom that basically all women report during pregnancy is having swollen ankles and feet, and maybe sometimes also the hands and the calves. Now, this is quite normal during pregnancy and is due to the fact that in pregnancy we tend to keep the fluids into our body. This is because the hepatic volume increases during pregnancy and generally you tend to get swollen towards the end of the pregnancy. So especially if you are in the second or even more in the third trimester, it is quite normal to experience this symptom. And usually it is absolutely normal and it goes with no complications whatsoever. However, before we discuss to the swollen limbs during summer, I want to do a little disclaimer, because if you experience, together with the swollen calves, feet, ankle, other symptoms such as headache, blurred vision, epigastric pain, then we might be talking about preeclampsia. So you want to make sure that you ask your provider to have a little checkup to your blood pressure and also to your urine. You give them a urine sample so they can check if there are proteins in your urine, because if these things comes up, then your swollen legs might be due instead to this pathological condition that can develop during pregnancy. So please, if you're experienced together with the edema that you might see in your legs and other symptoms, or even if it's just the edema is quite intense and severe and appears out of nowhere, make sure to seek for medical attention. Another pathological thing that can be linked to having the swollen legs and again calves, ankles, feet, anything, or even like the arms, if you see especially one of the limb that becomes bigger suddenly, then this might be linked to deep venous thrombosis, which is quite a dangerous condition that can happen during pregnancy, because pregnant women are way more exposed to clots during pregnancy, and you want to seek for medical attention if suddenly you see one of the limb getting bigger and maybe sore or red in the area. Then these might be linked to something else that requires more attention. However, if you see that your legs are becoming swollen, especially at the end of the day, maybe because you've been standing up all day and especially because it's very warm outside, then this is simply a bit of swollen leg due to the heat and the pregnancy condition. So what can you do to reduce the swelling of the leg? That can be quite uncomfortable. Maybe you're not able anymore to put closed shoes on because your feet are too big to do that. What you can do is, first of all, elevate the legs. So when you sleep or when you rest, even when you take a nap, put a couple of pillows at the bottom of the bed and put your legs on top so that the legs are always a little bit elevated than the rest of your body. This is gonna encourage the veins and the blood flow to your upper part of your body and therefore reduce the swelling. What you can do as well is make sure you drink a lot of water. This is generally good in pregnancy, but especially during summer, because it's easy to lose a lot of fluids through your skin while you sweat because of the heat. So it's very important to introduce a lot of fluid. And if you are in the first trimester, for example, and you suffer of a lot of nausea and vomiting, make sure that you keep down something such as smoothies or fruit juices, or like something that you can tolerate and you're not getting sick of it, because it's very important that you don't get dehydrated by the heat of the summer and by becoming sick. Another very good tip that I want to give you is to try to be active with your legs, but at the same time be smart about it. So if you're lucky enough to live by the beach and you can enjoy an evening walk by the sea, it's very good to dip your legs into the fresh water and just walk through it, or even you can use a pool if you have the possibility to do some sports in the water, or some activities that promotes the moving of the legs in the water. This promotes the circulation. If you don't have these possibilities, even like a cold shower at the end of the day is gonna be very beneficial for your legs, because it promotes the venous flow into your upper body. Another thing that a lot of pregnant women complains about is not being able to rest properly during the night or during the day. And this can be due because you feel uncomfortable during pregnancy, but also because of the heat. So if you live in a country where during the night it gets very hot, please make sure that you equip yourself with a fan or with air conditioning if you have the possibility, or even if your room, the room where you sleep in, is very warm, because maybe the sun hits into the windows until very late, or the sunrise is very early, and really that room becomes very hot because of the sun keeps hitting into the room for so many hours during the day. Make sure that you choose another room to sleep in if it's worth it, because it's very important that you get some rest during pregnancy, because otherwise you're gonna feel weak during the day, you might have some lowering of the blood pressure, and you might be even fainting because of that. So this can be quite dangerous, especially if you're alone and maybe you end up fainting and hitting the bump or hitting yourself and hurting yourself. So please make sure that you try to wear some natural clothes with some natural fabrics, because it's gonna help you to reduce the sweating and the heat during the night, and promote the hair circulation, and that your skin can breathe, and then you suffer less of the heat. And also you can use a pregnancy pillow, which is very great in order to be able to find a comfortable position, especially if it's very warm. If you can't sleep during the night, please make sure that you get a nap or two during the day, because it's very important that you get some rest, especially now that your baby is not here yet. Another thing that a lot of pregnant women experience, especially during summer, is the lack of appetite, maybe, or being extremely lazy during the day. This can be due to being in the first trimester, so then because of the nausea and vomiting, you don't want to eat, you don't want to drink. And if you are in the summer, this can be quite detrimental, because again, you can be experiencing fainting or some dehydration. So please make sure that you keep down some fluid or some food, and if you can't do so, make sure that you take some multivitamins or some minerals in order to get your body hydrated. If you are in the second or third trimester, you might think that the fact that you're not hungry is going to help you to control the weight. However, it's very important that you don't skip any meal during pregnancy, because it can be quite dangerous for you and the baby. So please make sure that you have some snacks close to you if you don't want to have a full meal because it's very hot. Maybe some nuts that are going to give you a bit of energy if you feel weak, or if you feel a bit down with the sugars. Try to avoid hot meals, maybe favor fresh fruit and vegetables. Always make sure that you wash throughout fruit and vegetables to reduce the risk of toxoplasmosis. That this risk cannot be reduced to zero unless you eat cooked fruits or vegetables, but it can be quite reduced if you make sure that you washed it throughoutly a lot before consume it. Try to avoid sun exposures, especially in the most hot hours of the day. This is gonna make you very drowsy and sleepy, and it's not gonna be good for your skin. So make sure always that you put some sunscreen on, and that you avoid exposing to the sun when the sun is at its peak. And if you feel lazy, if you feel that you're just very sleepy, don't worry, just try to enjoy and have a rest and have a nap, because it's gonna help you a lot, and maybe you're gonna wake up a little bit hungry and able to eat something. Make sure that you drink at least 2 liters of water a day, at least. Even if it's not water is very important, so try to drink at least 2 liters of water, especially during pregnancy. But even if you can drink some juices or smoothie, or maybe some cold broth or some cold soup, this is all gonna be adding up to the fluid intake that you consume during the day. That's all for this video. I hope that it was helpful for those people that are pregnant right now and live in a warm country where the summer is quite intense. So to recap, make sure that you wear some natural fabric clothes, make sure that you drink plenty of water, that you eat fruit and vegetables, that you keep your legs elevated, and that you enjoy some cold water into your legs. And I'm sure that your pregnancy is gonna be way more manageable. If you have not done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!